Hello viewers, Super GT here. Welcome to Assetto Corsa on the PC. So I've just bought this game on the sim on the PC. I've had it on the Xbox One console, but I thought I'd buy the proper version on the PC. And what we're going to do here is an 8-lap race around Zanvoort in the Mercedes GT3 car. And as you can see there, I have a Wheelcam, so better see exactly what I'm doing as well. So that is the Thrustmaster 599XX Alcantara rim, really nice to drive. And off the line we go. I get an absolutely awful start there. I'm not sure, I'm probably doing something very wrong. As I say, I mean, I haven't had this game for too long, so plenty of learning for me to do, and that's part of what this is really. Just doing these kind of races, just trying to get used to everything. The main reason why I've chosen this combination really is because there is one of the special event challenges where you have to drive this car around this track and try to get a lap time below 1:41 for a gold medal at least. And I managed to do that, so I thought, you know what, I feel fairly comfortable with that. Let's try and do a race. As we come up this section, 3 abreast with the Nissan GTR and the BMW there. So fairly risky stuff, but eventually it sorts itself out. And actually I'll come to the bottom of those 3. We started on 13th place on the grid, up the inside of the GTR into turn 7. That is lunge central, that corner. It really opens up on the entrance because you normally just flick to the left as you go into that corner. So quite easily up the inside of the GTR. A couple of hairpins in the middle of the track. Now this is the track I know about. I mean, I've seen it raced before, I've seen it on TV. It's not one I'm really that familiar with, so after driving it in this special event, I actually really quite enjoyed this track. Almost into the back of the BMW as we go into turn 10. Now the left of turn 11 as we approach turn 12, which is the penultimate turn on the circuit. A little bit of a rise as you go in, and I'm just going to graze the curb, get a massive portion of oversteer, just about managed to correct it. Hard work on the steering wheel, as you can see there. And through the final turn, again on the curb. You really do want to be very careful on those curbs. Normally that final turn is flat out. The GTR, we know that the Nissan GTRs have great straight line speed. So I'm going to cover the inside line there as we go into turn 1, down into second gear for the first turn here. As we go towards turn 2, just a fast kink to the left. When you want to get on the brakes nice and early, down 1 gear for the right, and then down another gear into second for the turn 3 here, the left. Now this is quite an important corner because it leads on to this long section here, turn 4 and 5, which are, well, they are corners, but they're flat out. So your entry, also your exit from turn 3 is very important going into that section there. This corner is fairly hard to get the entry right for. As you can see, they're having to correct on the way in, and the gap has opened up to the guys up ahead, so I'm going to have to do a bit of work here to try and catch up. I think through the chicane here, or sorry, through the 2 hairpins, I was quite fast compared to the AI. There are some places where the AI are a little bit slow, especially through turns 4 and 5, as you might see later. They seem to brake when you can actually go through flat out. So for those of you who haven't really seen this game too much before, I've set the AI to 91%, or sorry, 90%. You can set anything between 80 and 100, 100 being hardest. And then I've gone for a differential setting of 4%, so they'll fluctuate between 94% and 86%. So I'm keeping it basically on medium settings. I mean, I am fairly new to this, so I do want to just keep it fairly simple and eventually build my way up and try to do some more online races. So this is just a single player race that I've set up, so no online race at the moment. GT3 cars though, I absolutely love them. These are the ones I really want to get comfortable with, and on iRacing as well. I'd like to eventually get into the Blank Pan series or the other similar series using the GT3 cars. These seem to be very nice ones to drive. The ones I tend to go for actually in a lot of these games, I do like these cars. Now this is the course I'm talking about, turns 4 and 5. 4 is this left-hander, 5 is this right-hander. You see the McLaren just easy on the brakes there through turn 5, so that is something I could capitalise on. As we go towards turn 7 then, after turn 6, he's going to move to the left. I'm going to go for a lunge of the century. The space opens up. He's still just about on the outside, but then just about settles in behind. So that's one more position. And I've just about moved up into the top 10, I believe. BMW covering the inside. I'm just going to look up the inside. He's going to give me the room. And then he's just hanging it around the outside. And just having a quick check back to make sure that he is behind. Sometimes it is very hard in this viewpoint to know exactly where they are. You do have the reference arrows, as you can see on the screen there, the red arrow. So you can see roughly where they are. But when they're on your corner, your rear corner, you can't always tell if they're right next to you or if they're behind you. So sometimes you might turn across and they're actually still just about there. And obviously you'll spin out, so you do have to be quite careful still. Obviously you don't want to be turning across people to spin yourself out. So often being careful does pay in the simulators. Now up the inside of the Mercedes into turn 1, comfortably on the brakes, down into second gear. Once again, that first corner is absolutely beautiful when you hook it up nicely. So as I said, I managed to do a 1:40.6 actually. I didn't say that, but I said I beat a 1:41 for the gold medal in the time attack challenge. So that was on my own with no other cars on the track. So it's quite a different matter when you've got all these cars right in front of you. It can be very hard to see. I mean, when you've got that Ferrari like I have right now right in front of me, it can be quite hard to see my turning in points. He just about leaves a space there through turn 5 and then into 6. Just about going to ease him wide and get the position as we move up there. The McLaren just up ahead, and again the space opens up into turn number 7. So I'm going to go for the move. Why the hell not? Might as well try to make my way up as quickly as possible. Go a little bit deep into the right-hander of 8. But we're just going to keep it nice and tight into the left-hander of turn number 9 then. Got to be really careful through the exit of these long turns. You've got to really maximise your throttle. But at the same time, if you're turning too tight, the car will want to oversteer. So you have to be really careful. It's a very delicate balancing act really between all of the different inputs in the car. So of course you have the steering and the throttle, so you've got to be really careful between everything, just maximising as much as you can on the exit of the turns. I mean, that really is the key to a lot of speed in most motorsport really, just maximising your exit of corners onto the straight. To do that you really do have to just be very delicate on the accelerator pedal and on the steering. And talking of the steering, I mean, I've spoken about it in a couple of videos, the Thrustmaster 599XX Alcantara rim. So it's a really nice material, that's why I'm wearing the gloves. And weirdly enough, it's exactly the same pair of gloves as the guy in the game is wearing, just a different colour of course. But yeah, exactly the same pair with the Sparko gloves there. Really, really good on the rim. I think the reason really why you have to wear the gloves, I think, on this rim is because it's made of this really soft felt, and if you start sweating it can sort of dislodge over a long time. I mean, I haven't felt that so far, but if I were to keep doing it and I keep sweating with bare hands, then it might wear out the material. So I think the best thing is just to wear gloves. It's more comfortable and it's more grippy anyway, so I think all I've done really is I've just got an old pair of karting gloves. I've got a couple of these Sparko gloves going spare, so I thought I might as well use them rather than just having them in a box. So some good use, and also of course I have the Thrustmaster pedals. You might not be able to quite see them in the Wheelcam there, just the bottom of the screen, but the Thrustmaster T3PA a lot better than standard pedals, a lot more feel. Got the conical brake mod, so it's like a rubber cone that goes behind the pedal, so that kind of suppresses and makes the pedal feel a lot tougher, more realistic basically. And I've set it up in GT style, so a lot of pedals that you'll see are, well, I don't know how to describe it, but they come down from the bottom. But these ones hang up from the top. So if you just were to Google, I go into the back of the Nissan GTI, if you were to Google T3PA Pro, you can see that it has 2 configurations, and that's really good actually, so I can just switch them around depending on how I feel. And then again, just going to the back of the Nissan GTR, a little bit impatient, but perhaps I'm seeing that Corvette up ahead going flying past and I really want to keep up with it, so I'm getting a little bit impatient here behind the Nissan GTR. We're on lap number 6 now, so about 2 3/4 laps left. Nissan braking there again, and well, I mean, to be honest, I should have anticipated that because the AI do seem to be consistently braking there, so perhaps I ought to be knowing where they are going to brake. They're going to go for a lunge from very far back. He's just going to leave me the space. He's still on the outside. I can see that arrow, but then eventually he tucks in behind, and I have gained the position up into 5th place. That Corvette has left us for dead already. That Corvette not hanging about, getting past the Nissan and going straight for the next car. And actually, we're in 5th place right now, and we're in a good position here really, because as you can see up ahead, the top 4 are pretty much nose to tail as we come through turn 10 and 11. So this is by no means over as we come out to lap number 7, or 2 more corners, then we're on lap number 7 with 2 laps left to go. This is a corner I've got to be very careful around. You have to maximise that corner really, because turn 13 here is flat out onto the long main straight, or fairly long. So that corner is fairly crucial to your lap time. Crossing the line there, 1:43, so not as good as I can do, but then again I was overtaking that GTR and had a bit of a mishap at the start of the lap. Guys up ahead getting involved with each other. That Corvette really is not hanging back at all, and I love that about this game really. The fact that the AI, I think the AI are very good actually, from what I've seen. I mean, some of you who've played this game for longer than I have may disagree, but from what I've seen so far, I mean, there's plenty of sliders that you can have. So I mean, you can turn up the aggression and stuff, so you can make sure that the AI are varied and that they are aggressive or quite timid, so you can actually decide all these things. So in this case, I think I turned up to about 50% aggression, so about in the middle. So they're not too, timid. They're not just doing nothing, but at the same time they are attacking me a little bit, which is good. So you want the AI to fight back a little bit at least. So I've got a good exit there from turn 8 up the inside into turn 9. That space just seems to open up. The AI don't really go too defensive. A big kick of oversteer there on the exit of the turn. But we are just about away. I'm just going to cover him off as we go into the right hander of turn 10. And then as we go into the apex, he's just going to touch me. And I could not quite correct it in time. And I'm around. And unfortunately, I'm going to lose a couple more positions here. So I was 5th there. Going to go back down into 7th, I think. And that is not good news at all. So I drop back behind this Ferrari and the Nissan GTR. And we only have 1 more lap left to try and repair some of that damage. So by no means a good corner there, or a good lap at all. As we come down the main straight then, we've got 1 lap left. Can we try to do some damage from here? Go into the first turn. I brake pretty much exactly where I'd normally brake. And, well, clearly it was too late. On this occasion, I should have anticipated that those 2 guys were there battling, and they would have braked a little bit earlier than normal. And unfortunately, that has ruined my race further. So I think to begin with, I was racing fairly well. But then a bit of impatience sort of crept into the race, and I got a little bit complacent really. I was perhaps trying a little bit too hard, but if there's one lesson to be learned from a lot of sim racing, is that you shouldn't really try to drive beyond your capabilities, or try too hard basically. Once you start doing that, you're just going to make the mistakes, and many times, more often than not, it's better just to drive within yourself and then just bite off what you can chew, not more. And in this case I have done, and I've actually paid the price by losing a couple of positions. But not to worry, I mean, it's only a single player race and it's all good practice in the end. So we're just going to round out the race here and try to finish in 8th place. I think we started the lap in 7th. The ticker at the bottom of the screen there says I'm 7th, but I don't think it updates live. So I was in 7th at the start of the lap, but I lost 1 position from that spin on turn 1, so I think I'm in 8th place at the moment. So just a couple more corners left to go, and then we have completed the race. Do let me know what you think about the wheel cam on the left hand side there. Do you think that's good? I mean, it's a lot of hard work. I can really appreciate some of the YouTubers who really bring out this content with all the wheel cams, all the different angles and stuff, like how much effort that takes to do, and how much longer it takes to render the video and edit and stuff. I mean, it really is hard work. But I'll try to bring it to you as much as I can if you do like the wheel cam. So of course, do let me know your thoughts on that. there are the results. I'm losing my voice here. I finished, yes, in 8th place in the end, 17 seconds off the lead. But the leader there, that was the Corvette, doing a 140.7. Now I've actually done quicker than that, so I know that I'm as quick as that, the car that won that race there. So that's promising at least. But there we go, guys. I do hope you enjoyed this video. So Assetto Corsa on the PC, something a little bit different. And I really enjoy this game. It's really, really good fun. And I'll hopefully try to bring some online races to you very soon. But do let me know your thoughts on the video, as always. Do subscribe if you're new and like to see more. And I hope to see you in the next one. Thank you very much for watching. As always, I shall see you next time. Goodbye.